Ferguson scared them so badly out there on that train. Yes. They feared that the mechanism of black self-hatred was breaking down. And that aggression would no longer be directed toward the self, but directed toward them. Yes, it shocked them. Because 9 times out of 10, a black man undergoing the kind of stress he was undergoing would have drank himself to death.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Would have addicted himself to death with crack or dope or drugs or something. Would have committed suicide. Would have killed another black man, hoping that black man would have killed him first, putting himself in danger. Because a lot of this homicide is a backward form of suicide. People say, I don't expect to live past 21 anyway. Why don't you expect to live past 21? So therefore, I can just put myself out in all kind of foolish and foolhardy situations for death and destruction. How is it that black men let ourselves get put into this position? It's an amazing situation. By a small group of men and a small population of people. Because we let someone else create our consciousness. And as long as we let them create our consciousness and implant the demon of self-hatred into our minds, destroy our self-confidence. You see, when a demon is implanted in your body, the demon has no respect for your body. You saw it in The Exorcist. The demon just took that girl's body and used it whatever way it felt like. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody that's abusing itself is under the possession of a demon and destroying itself. This is what's going on here. That means then that at the point, and that point has already been reached, where the archdemon gives the possessing demon instructions to destroy the body, it then will begin to do what? Destroy itself. And at the point then where the archdemon who has possessed a lot of people will tell the possessing demons that these people should fade away out of existence, those people will oblige, in a sense, by literally killing themselves and destroying themselves. And that point is where we are today. This is what we've reached to a great extent. And I'm saying this to indicate then that when we talk about consciousness, we're not talking about some high intellectual concept or some psychological concept. We're talking about something that is real, that hurts and destroys, and that's real in life itself. And even though it may sound like a highfalutin term, or it may sound like some psychological jargon, it is about the essence of reality. And that's why we must come to know and recognize what consciousness is and how it is structured. We must distinguish between a state of being conscious and consciousness itself. The state of being conscious refers to the ability to be aware of, to know of, to perceive, to feel, to experience, to think, to remember, to know that you know. That you know. To be aware of the fact that you are aware. This is what consciousness, the state of being consciousness, is about. The ability to be aware of internal and external events. To selectively or willfully attend to some stimuli and not attend to others. To deliberately choose and execute certain actions in response to environmental conditions or to internal conditions. Consciousness is an active state. It's not a mere state of being aware of or knowing of. It involves purposive activity, acting for a purpose. Consciousness requires, of course, being conscious And it requires what we call a level of physiological and psychological arousal, which not only makes the individual conscious, as we've just indicated, of his internal environment and external environments, but also permits the individual to regulate his own behavioral activities toward achieving a particular end. This is where you really get involved in consciousness, in the sense that consciousness is usually directed at something. It intends something. It is not a mere being aware, but it moves from awareness to movement toward a goal, toward achieving a particular end. But in order to do that, we have to achieve a certain level of psychological arousal and physiological arousal. So then ultimately consciousness is a type of intelligence. And by intelligence we're talking about the fact that it allows the person to adapt to changes in the world and in himself or herself. To respond to stimuli, to respond to the environment in a way that maintains the integrity of the person and advances the interests of the person. It allows the person to be creative and inventive and innovative. Intelligence is about the capacity to adapt to change. It's not a score on a piece of paper. 100 IQ doesn't mean anything in and of itself. Ultimately, intelligence is tested in the real world. It involves the capacity to solve a problem that confronts you, to engage yourself in creative thinking and innovative thinking, to use knowledge in a way that you can resolve problems and issues. That's what intelligence is about. To respond to changes in the environment and in oneself in a way that it advances your interests. So it is not solely measured by knowing who was the first president of the United States or the other kinds of things you see on the intelligence test. Then if consciousness allows us to adapt to the world, then consciousness is a type of intelligence. Consciousness will determine the effects that the world has on us and the effects we have on the world. If we let these other people determine the state of our consciousness, we are going to be responsive to certain things and not to others. Certain things are going to have effects on us and not others. We will love our enemies and love those that abuse us. We will think the greatest thing next to hog heaven is living next door to a white person. We think the essence of freedom is laying up in the bed with those who have degraded us. We measure freedom. Yes. We think the essence of freedom is to carry our money to white folk. Even though they don't want to see us, they hate our guts, they don't want to live with us, we go in and buy expensive things and walk out feeling good about ourselves. Foolish. The black man is the white man's bottom hoe. That's right. You heard Iceberg Slim talk about it, didn't you? The bottom hoe. The pimp. Got a bunch of women out there, but the bottom hoe sticks with them no matter what happens. Keeps the other ones in line and brings them that money. Brings them that money. Works day and night. Takes abuse from the Johns and everybody else, but what? Brings them that money. Slaps us at it. Get back out there and get to work and bring me some more. Curses her. Treats her bad. She still sticks with it. She's obsessed by dressing them up, by keeping them in money, by making them look fine. How different is it then, black men, to go to war for white men? fight his battle.